It is quite alarming that these white folks actually think that poverty is meant for black people. I've done videos like this before where at last they find out that 70% of them are the poorest people. Now I want you guys to watch this video. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. Because I love it when these people are finding out more. I love it when these people are coming to the realization that anything that look like me is actually one of the best creature in earth. You see, these people, they have practically used their hand not to only dump their self in the trash, but to as well not being able to come out of it. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's Sonia and I'm back again with another mind-blowing video. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are fine. Hope you guys are good. If this is the first time tuning in, do what to subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. With that being said, let's watch and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go, guys.
It will never be lost on me that a lot of people that are regretting their vote for Donald Trump are not regretting it because of the harm that is being inflicted upon other people. No, that's not the reason why. They are regretting it because they're feeling the effects of that harm that they thought was going to be inflicted upon other people. You see, if a lot of these people were actually looking outward and saying, damn, he's doing this to other communities, and I feel bad because I voted for this, and I feel bad because this is happening to other communities. But we know, specifically black and brown people, more specifically black people know, that if it was only impacting us, if the only harm that was being inflicted was on our community, a lot of these people that voted for Donald Trump wouldn't care, especially if they weren't feeling the effects of the harm that they voted for, that they thought was only going to impact people that were not attached to them. You see, what a lot of people need to do when it comes to what happened in this last election is a internal self-reflection within their communities. And as I've said on many occasions, this country has never really, truly voted for progress. And the reason why that doesn't happen is in the very DNA of this country, that white supremacy that is at the core of this nation, where a lot of white people see progress when it comes to other groups of people that are not white as a handout. But when white people are struggling and the government is forced to do something for them, they see that as deserving. And that's something that needs to be revamped, rethought about, reimagined. Because here's the reality. White supremacy does not benefit even poor white people. Ultimately, you will become a victim of the very system that you enforce with your vote.
Somebody, please explain to me, who raised these people? What the fuck is wrong with them?
We are huge Trump supporters. If you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, I get to stay. Wednesday, late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9 o'clock. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore.
You were skipping down the hall. You were so excited when you thought you were safe. You knew others were suffering and gonna suffer, but you knew you were safe. You were cool with it.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that because it is true.
I could just picture you and your friends, glasses of cheap fucking wine, just laughing over others and how others are gonna get affected.
The common theme is, we voted for this. You knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio Valley.
There it is. It's only when you're affected that you actually feel bad about something. You don't have any regrets for everyone else. It's that you got affected. You're despicable. You're disgusting. How does it feel?
It's hard. It's wrecking.
Good.
When people ask me why I was such a diehard Trump supporter, this was the reason why. Because of this comment right here, I felt like this. I felt like that in 2024 that white men were the only people who were legally discriminated against. In fact, I'll take it a step further. It was the white, straight, Christian, conservative male that would be discriminated against in 2024 in the United States of America. We had tolerance for everyone else but us. And truth be told, it wasn't until I realized how ignorant and uneducated I truly was that I began to think and feel and live differently. Growing up in a society and a system that by design centers and caters white, straight, Christian males, anytime you see any other type of inclusivity, any type of diversity, equity, and inclusion, it will begin to feel like oppression. And that's sad that this is the truth about the world that we live in today. And people say all the time that if we just stop talking about racism, that it will go away. People believe that because they don't experience interpersonal racism, that it doesn't exist on an institutional or a systemic level. But it's because of comments like this that we know it's alive and well. People will be like, well, we don't have a white entertainment channel, or we don't have historically white colleges. We don't have a white history month. We don't have white-owned businesses. When literally whiteness has been the standard in this country since the birth of the nation. I remember when I first started seeing interracial commercials, and I would get so mad, I'd be so triggered. And I'd say things to myself and to friends and family, I don't care what you do, I don't care about interracial dating, but why do they have to shove this down our throat? And the same thing with gay pride or trans talk. I would get so triggered, I don't care what you do, but why do you have to shove it down our throat? But could you imagine for 1 second being a member of one of these marginalized groups growing up in this country? What it must feel like to have whiteness or straightness or Christianity shoved down your throat every single second of the day? And then when you begin to question it or try to create a safe space for yourself, you're told to go live in another country if you don't like it. Or stop being the victim. Or don't blame the system, you need to take personal accountability. And this is the question I have for people who get upset about it, because I know a lot of people in my everyday life are still upset about it. Why are you so triggered? How hard is it to deconstruct and re-educate? And why are we so afraid to do so? Are we that insecure? Are we that fragile? Are we that mediocre that we cannot compete in a world that has a level playing field and equal opportunity for every single person? I mean, hell, if we really think about it, if we really want to get mad, we need to get mad at our ancestors. We had a 400-year head start, and many of us are still living in the trailer park. But for real, though, why does inclusivity feel like oppression to us? Why do we get so triggered? Why do we think it's a zero-sum game? Why do we look at it as a piece of pie in which if somebody else gets a piece of the pie that we don't get our piece? And I have a very unpopular belief that I'm going to share with you, and I stand on it, and many people are going to be triggered by this. But in 2024, if you're white in America, you're racist. Unless you've actively chosen to do the work to become less racist. But by default, if you're born into this system with our institutions, the way that we are taught, programmed, and conditioned, through no fault of your own, you have been taught and programmed to be racist. And this is why education is so important. And don't take it personal. I'm not attacking your character unless you willfully refuse to learn. I'm attacking your education and your beliefs. And I challenge you to become willing to see the world from a different perspective. That's all. That simple. So ask yourself this question. One simple question. Are you up for the task? Are you willing to learn?
Just finished a morning run, sweating bullets, but I have to say this while I'm thinking about it. Almost every week, I see someone ask the question, why are white men so angry? And while I cannot begin to expound on the many reasons why that might be, what I can say is this. I view all social problems through a lens of societal systems, because as a sociologist, that's what I'm trained to do. And here is the design flaw in systems of privilege. When you build systems of hierarchy and privilege, when you build systems of hierarchy and privilege, the privilege is actually what weakens you. The privilege makes you weak because when you socialize an entire group of people to believe that I exist, therefore I deserve. I exist, therefore I am entitled. I exist, therefore the path of prosperity should be laid out very cleanly ahead of me, and I don't have to work hard, and I don't have to struggle, and I don't have to dig deep. I just have to receive. Meanwhile, you are socializing all other groups to survive with less resources, with less privilege. And so as a byproduct of their survival, they are becoming adaptable, resilient, creative, resourceful. They are developing the muscle for survival that they subsequently turn into systems for success and prosperity. Meanwhile, the privileged group is not developing these systems. And when they start to see the disenfranchised group becoming stronger, gaining opportunities, building systems of success, rather than say, hey, maybe we ought to be doing that too, no. Privilege doubles down. Privilege digs deep into the well of anger and grievance and says, you are the reason why I can't be successful. You are taking opportunities away from me and my children and generations. And so now, rather than develop the muscle of resilience, what I'm going to do now is start taking privileges away from you. And now I'm going to start taking your resources. And now I'm going to start burning your house down in hopes that you will get back to where I think you ought to be, which is underneath me. Not realizing that the more you do that, the more privileges you take away, the more systems of success you try to dismantle, you are only making them more creative, more adaptable, more resilient, and more resourceful. So it becomes this Ouroboros, this snake eating its own tail, because the very system that you designed to uplift yourself is actually the one that is putting you far behind, because you never develop the muscle, the work ethic, the resilience, the innovation, and the creativity as the disenfranchised group.
You ever hear somebody say that Black people weren't really affected by the Great Depression? We were not immune to the worst economic crisis the U.S. had seen up until that point. Not only were we affected, we were hit first. We were hit hardest. And we were left out of the recovery process. Let's talk facts. By 1932, half of Black Americans were unemployed. That's double the rate of white workers. In cities like Chicago and Atlanta, white workers demanded that Black employees be fired first to make room for other white job seekers. Even relief programs and soup kitchens turned Black families away. Or if they did take them, they gave them the bare minimum, while white families got full assistance. But here's the part they don't really talk about: how the effects of this still impact us today. The Great Depression created the modern wealth gap, right? After the Depression, the U.S. government poured money into home loans to help Americans recover. But Black people were locked out of that. Redlining ensured that Black neighborhoods were labeled as high risk, so banks refused to give Black families home loans. Today, only 44% of Black Americans own homes, compared to 74% of white Americans, because we were never given the same starting point. Generational wealth was stolen from the start. While white families got government aid, loans, and economic recovery programs, Black families got left behind. That's why even today, the median wealth of a white family is nearly 10 times that of a Black family. The financial setbacks that Black families faced weren't just about the Depression. They were about who was allowed to recover and who wasn't. No, Black people weren't unaffected by the Great Depression. We were targeted, excluded, and systematically denied the opportunities that helped white families rebuild. And the effects of that are still shaping who owns, who thrives, and who struggles today. They don't teach this for a reason. But history didn't just happen. It created the system that we're living in right now. And if we don't keep talking about it, they'll just keep pretending that it didn't exist.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys have seen all of that clips that I've been able to roll out for you. And literally, I am so happy when these people are finding out the hard way. I love it when reality plays. You know, the honest truth is, one thing these people actually plan is that every single thing that is going to be affecting will never affect them. It will only be affecting people that look like me. If not, if this, let's take for example this EBT or the stamp, food stamp of a thing that we're talking about was literally just affecting just the Black folks, I can tell you for a whole fact that these people will not give a damn. Do you get me? These people will not even care. Like, they will be so happy that it is actually happening. But I love the fact that it is not just affecting us, but it is also affecting them, because that is the real F around and finance that they have literally been looking out for. So since it's literally affecting them as well, that is why you see these people always coming out to cry. And I'll always say this in my video. I think Trump is one of the best wake up call for this MAGAs. Honestly, Trump is one of the best wake up call to tell MAGAs that, It is not everything you vote that can actually make you successful or can actually profit you. Now, over 70 to 80% of them have literally been crying every day and night, seeking for how they are going to survive, seeking for how they are going to feed their kids, seeking for how they are going to put roof over their head, and so on and so forth. And I will say this, as a black person, I know that we guys are survivors and we will always survive no matter the situation or no matter the issue that we actually encounter in life. Please, whenever you see these people coming to ask for arms, I don't think you should let them that, because they actually created this. Because now a lot of them are saying we were literally not educated very well. We didn't really understand what is happening. Honestly, we thought we were just doing it for good. A lot of them are now denouncing joining magas. And you guys know that the rules I play by is I literally do not trust any of them, no matter how simple they are trying to make it look, no matter how welcoming. That is why even when they come out with this issue of, oh, let's get the purple revolution, where the red and the blues will come together to form the purple revolution stuff so that we guys can actually be one. I said, no, I don't trust them. I don't trust these people. Like, I don't even feel their vibes at all, because I feel like these people are wolves in sheep clothing. I'm sorry if I'm stepping on anyone's toe. This is just for educational purposes. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section. But that's what I feel. I feel like the moment you keep lending them arms and then you give these people another opportunity to say, okay, correct your mistake. Okay, we've seen what you have done in the past. Right now, let's correct every single thing. These people will literally not still correct it. In fact, they will even do the worst. The worst. That is the level these people is. And I keep saying it. Honestly, Trump is actually the Tinubu of Nigeria. Yeah. He's actually the Tinubu of Nigeria, because you put them there, they show you shaggy, they show you pepper. Then make you see reasons why you are there, because exactly what we are also facing. That's why I've been able to relate to every single thing that is actually happening. After a lot of them voted and the rest of that, now they are the ones crying. He started with the same people that actually voted. Do you get? And one thing I know about America is next time when black folks are actually trying to educate them, they are going to sit, they are going to listen, and they are going to as well, in fact, seek for advice before they cast their vote. It has gotten to that point. So that is it. Poverty was never meant for black folks. Poverty was never meant for people that look like me. In fact, what was meant for people that look like me is absolutely riches. So if you think that's the reason why you think you keep jumping up and down, it is just going to be affecting the black folks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you have to rewrite that, because as it stands now, it is not only affecting the black folks, but it is also dealing with your damn acts. And I love that. I love that your stupidity is actually playing out very, very well. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do what? Subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. I keep saying it in my video, I stand a chance to be corrected, right? I'm not all that perfect. This is just me giving my own opinionistic opinion, as I always target. So let me know what you think in the comment section. We do not support any form of fight or violence here. We are just giving our honest truth, right? And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you subscribing, liking, commenting, and also sending super thanks. I really do appreciate. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are the best. But anyways, with that being said, with no further ado, I like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.